My name's Levi Switzer. I'm 28 years old and I'm from Alberta, Canada. I grew up in, I guess I was born in a city called Calgary, but when I was like 10, I moved to a town called Cochrane. And that changed my life. I was in grade 2, so I would have been, 7? And I think I had a good report card. And my mom said, do you want a Game Boy or do you want a skateboard? And I chose a skateboard because I thought she said you'll get the Game Boy later. You came up from behind me and I knew that our eyes would... So I got a skateboard and then I was super bummed when I found out that I couldn't get the Game Boy later. So that's how I started skateboarding. Later than that, I got a Nash right after that. And that's back when boards lasted you 2 years. Your love is lifting me. Woo, woo. I filmed like a lot in my teenage years, and I just stacked footage and then on like a mini DV camera or a high 8 camera, so the camera's like this big, and then I never used any of it, and it's disappeared, it's gone. I didn't use any of it. A lot of board slides, a lot of 50s. And then when I was a bit older, I made a sponsor me tape. I was 18, and I actually, when Shredz moved to Cochrane, so I was here before Shredz, and when Shredz moved to Cochrane, I gave him my tape. I started working there and gave my tape, and I gave it to everywhere else. And Sam texted me one day, he said, hey, Sam's the owner of the shop. He texted me one day, he said, hey, do you want to help out with the team? Help me pick the team, because he was new to town. And I said, wouldn't that be kind of weird, because I don't ride for the shop? And he said, oh, did I forget to tell you? You're on the shop. And so that's how I found out, from a text message. Shredz shop was my first sponsor. Do you remember that? Yeah. Contrary to popular belief, I do actually still skate. I don't skate as much as I would like to, but I do still get to skate, being an adult, almost 30 years old, so I love it though. It's good. Just like when I was a kid. So I've always really been passionate about youth and seeing youth succeed. So pretty much when I turned like 18 or 19, I decided I want to help and work with kids and work with skaters. And so I moved to Medicine Hat and I worked at the skate park, and we ran this youth outreach program with skaters. And it was awesome. We taught skate school with them, taught them leadership skills, all this kind of stuff. A lot of the kids didn't have dads, or at least good dads. And it was fun. And so I've kind of continued that. Moving back to Cochrane, I joined a group called The Inside. You can see us on Instagram at The Inside, or our website is theinside.ca, and just help out with them, taking kids camping, giving back to skateboarding, and basically seeing kids succeed both in skateboarding but also in life, so that they don't turn out to be sucky adults. With your love, I don't need money, I don't need Honestly, a lot of people would like pick a moment or something like that when they think of their highlight of skateboarding for themselves. I remember the first time I landed a sex change, and then the first time I landed a kickflip. But honestly, the highlight is knowing that I belong to this group of people that exist in the world that is so diverse, accepts everyone, but at the same time will stick their neck out for anyone that's in their crew. And skateboarding is so much less about skateboarding, so much more about having fun and goofing around. And if I didn't have that, I probably would have played volleyball and played basketball and just joined that and like probably been a jock. And so skateboarding, my favorite part, or my favorite highlight over life, was what it gave me, and this want and this need to go against culture and go against the grain and stick my neck out, because why do I have to look like everyone else? So that's probably my highlight. And there's no holding back. I love junk food, and I always have. My favorite candy is probably, well, 5-cent candies for sure, but we're going Coke bottles. and the OG Cherry Coke bottles. The new ones that they have a lot of places suck now. Sour keys are tight. You usually see me with Sour Patch Kids, a specific kind of gummy bears called Haribo, and frig, I love Skittles. The dark side ones are the tropical ones. Most banana flavored things are terrible. Black licorice is Satan. There's so many things that suck. Maybe like 4 years ago, I was actually crossing the street. I left work to actually go to the inside. I was the only one with the key for the warehouse that we were going to skate at, and it was like in the fall or something. And so I was ripping home. I waited for traffic to go by, and then they stopped, and I gave them a wave, and I pumped into the intersection, and I got smoked by this lady on my skateboard. So I flipped over, and you can read more details later, but on the Case website, the link's in here somewhere. But I broke my frontal bone on my forehead, and I broke my foot, and I was off work for a while. If you guys know anything about me, I actually don't drink alcohol even to this day, and Coca-Cola has always been my best friend when it came to hanging out with my friends. So I think the most Coke that I ever drank in a day is at least 10 cans, if not 12 to 15. Yeah, I never got diabetes somehow, and still love Coke. Oof, Pepsi's dumb, and if you have that taste bud, you're a fool. It was only last week that we first... Worst tattoo. For scavenger hunt, when I was working with the kids out in Medicine Hat, one of the things on the list was get an MHSA tattoo, which stands for Medicine Hat Skateboard Association, and I got one on my bum. So right there, that's probably my worst tattoo, but also means a lot. So my favorite tattoo that I have right now is probably, I got it on my shin just only a few months ago, and it's this guy right here. My plan for this year, I cut hair for a living, so I'm a hairstylist, is probably to grow my salon. I might go on a motorcycle trip or two, get more involved at church, and maintain relationships. Believe it or not, it's hard as you get older to kind of keep your friends around and keep excited about that. With the inside too, we just want to grow that and make sure that we're reaching as many youth as possible. So, but it's going to be a fun year.